Bonjour mes amis, hi guys, we're back with Johnny Guitar. Gonna talk about his collection in a bit more details, and we're gonna ask the tough questions today. We've had a beer already, so we're ready for that.
Yeah.
If you were to have just one, I know the answer already, but maybe you know if you've seen the previous episodes.
Yeah,
Johnny,
okay,
what would it be?
So if I was left with just one watch, that's the model I would go for, because there's strictly nothing I can't do with this watch. I think we made like a 30 minutes video on this one last time. It's great for formal. You can still go in a swimming pool with it. There's really nothing that it can't do, and for me it's a no-brainer. Plus it's really a classic, iconic model. Fits great under a cuff, and it looks great in just any occasion. So for me, that's just the really easy one if I'm going to go for just one watch collection.
The Datejust is weird because it's something you think you can always buy anytime. So you're buying the other ones, and I knew that the one for me, for my lifestyle, what I need to do, was the Datejust. And now that I have it, if you ask me which one I would have, of course it's honeymoon period. But I would just say the Datejust because it's just the best watch that they make.
Likewise me, even, you know, I love the watch that you're showing. If I had a 41 or 39 and a half, as we always say, I'd go for that as well. In either size, if I was limited to a one watch collection, a Datejust 41 or a Datejust 36 for me is very easy.
And you can express a bit of personality. The Submariner, there's only one. There's a bit more fun to have, and I can't wait for Rolex to bring back some Arabic numerals on the dials and some cool colors.
I really want Rolex to come out with a Datejust 38, 37 and a half, or whatever, right in between, you know, this one, because you showed it in the other video. There's quite a significant difference between the two. Yours is still dressy enough, but it's a bigger watch. This is on the smaller size. If they did something in the middle, they would just sell them even better, I think, than what they're selling. Not that they need any help to sell Datejust, because again, it's a model people would want. So
one thing to note is that if you're very butch, you have a really big wrist, get the Datejust 2, because they made it for a very short period. It has a look of its own. I had one and I loved it, but it was a bit too big for me. But it has a great look of its own. And you know that guy, Watch Eric Rivera, loves it as well. You know, it's a very Miami kind of watch in two-tone. Yeah. But there's a Datejust for everyone. If you like the vintage stuff, it's still the same DNA.
This has everything that I would want in a watch. 3 days power reserve, 100 meters water resistance, good shock resistance as well, great clasp, great comfort. It's accurate within 3 seconds a day for this particular model. So for me, yeah, that's it. If it's just one. The second watch that I would, if I had a two watch collection, this is what it would be, because again, the Rolex is on a metal bracelet, and that's the kind of stuff, again, that I could easily do sports with or go to the beach with. I would definitely want to have leather strap and a more dressy option for the second watch. And but at the same time, if you're limited by the number of models, you would still want something that, although it's dressy, that you could wear day to day. And I think that this corne de vache, especially on a strap like that, is great to wear to the office, you know, daily. It's even great with a polo. It could serve as a really dressy watch if I put like a black alligator on it. But you know, just to wear daily, if you're not going to subject it to anything too tough, I would get this as a second watch over the Lange. If anything, because it's in steel.
This weighs nothing, by the way. It's so light, so refined. But yeah, what a beautiful compliment to a Rolex, and original, because it's not the first watch that people would think about. So it really shows that you love watches, you know. Now, shall we go for a three-piece?
Yeah. So the
combo.
The three-piece.
Oh my God! I thought it was going to be something else.
Nope.
It's the Bruiser.
It's a Bruiser, because
the Bruiser.
Because again, I think that if you start to have, you know, more than one or two watches, you actually need a watch that's really heavy duty a bit, the kind of stuff that you can go hiking with, or you can go to the beach with, and whatnot, and that would be my choice. That's really what it's intended to do. It fits my lifestyle as well, because when sport is not outlawed as it is in Hong Kong right now, it's something I would be wearing a lot. So in a three-piece collection, and actually, I would have not so long ago, if you had asked me, I would have put the Explorer II, because that would have been the closest to something that's
and it's a GMT, so it would be a nice complication with the chronograph.
Exactly.
So you're going to stick with the Zin. Nice combo of colors.
Yeah, and again, the other one, it's not to be, the third one is not to be pretty, but it's to be functional. The two first ones are really more on the dressy side.
It's functional as well.
It is, but it's just not going to be as tough as this. And if you're really going to do sports, and if you're stupid enough to wear a mechanical watch to do sports, and not go for a Casio G-Shock or Garmin or whatever else, then this is the kind of stuff you want.
We're gonna be stupid and we're gonna do it. All right, now you have a bit more money.
You have a bit more money.
You can keep one more.
I can keep one more, and then I would get this guy right here.
So now we have Symmetry in the country of origin of the watch.
Exactly, 2 Swiss and 2 Germans. Look, it's another dress watch, but also, if you're starting to have like 4 watches, then it's interesting to have another complication, I think.
Yeah.
So having a power reserve, it's a dress watch, but it has a very, very different feel to the Vacheron. And then your 4th watch, you can probably think about something like gold, because you're not going to wear it probably as often as the other, but it's still there, it's still nice, it's a horlogerie piece, it's just fantastically well executed. I'd have that as my 4th piece, and there's also symmetry in the fact that there's two watches that come originally on the bracelet, because the Zin comes on bracelet and 2 on
Wait,
on
do you
strap.
know the serial number of your watch?
Do I?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
You've never noticed?
Yeah, no, it's true. Well,
it's 223344.
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah, no, I think I did see this.
That is good. And
do you think it's auspicious?
That's great.
There's a guy on Purist Pro the other day. He posted the various pictures of the engravers with the balance cock that is hand engraved, because each of them have a different style.
Right.
And I'm going to try to figure out which
yours?
person did mine. Yeah, it's really interesting, because he was asking that.
It is totally different than the one I had on my
Of course
1815.
Yeah, they all
That's
have
interesting.
their own engraving
This one is a
style.
bit more nautical. It's a bit more like waves.
Yeah, or almost seashells.
Seashell, yeah, it's true. A very cool complication with a small running seconds. This one is great bang for bucks, I find, because you really get that beautiful 3/4 plate engine. Okay, so that's a 4-piece combo. We have some cool complications. No GMT though. Do we have to have a GMT?
So actually, if you ask me a 5-piece collection, then I would actually add this one somewhere, because specifically for that reason.
Wait, because we know you, Johnny Guitar. We know you have other watches in your collection. Why this one, and why not one with a colorful rotating bezel?
Well, the one with the colorful rotating bezel is a vintage one. They're just more finicky. They're just not as usable as more modern ones. And if you're going to have watches in your rotation, I think you need something that you can actually use on a daily basis, which is the reason why none of my choices for a limited watch collection of 5 or 6 pieces would have a vintage piece. I'd go for
Tough question. If you could get a Pepsi GMT Master 2 tomorrow at the AD, would you get rid of this Explorer 2?
No, I would not get the new GMT Master over this.
Okay.
I just wouldn't. I've just always preferred the design of the white dial Explorer II in this iteration, 5 digits over that of the GMT Master. And I like the GMT Master, but that was always the one I liked the best, which is the reason why it was the first ever Rolex that I bought, and to this day it still is my favorite sports model. So I'd still keep this one. And the other thing that I like about this one is that it's the one Rolex that doesn't look like a Rolex. So you can wear this in most instances and people not really care about it, whereas you have a GMT Master and it screams Rolex. But having said that, I'm saying the Explorer II, it would have been a bit of a call for a fifth watch between this and the spring drive that I have here from Grand Seiko that I put on this old.
Now you're shocking me, okay? Because I thought you were going to bring out the Minerva.
That would be probably my sixth watch. Also because the Minerva,
it's a cool one, I have to say, without the bezel.
The
so
Minerva also is also at the border of being a vintage watch. It's going to be a pain in the neck to maintain because it's got. I don't even know whether Montblanc is going to service my Minerva for a start. So that's one. And Grand Seiko, just because they do something completely different, and because it's a spring drive movement, and I love the dial as well. I love the execution of the case and all that. But I wouldn't take it over the Rolex because I know that I wouldn't wear it as much. And also the complication on this is power reserve, and I already have the power reserve on the Lange. So I would go or I did go for the Explorer II over that one. But in terms of sixth watch, yes, I would get this over the Minerva because I think it's pretty special what Grand Seiko does, and it's to have something from Seiko because I think it's a major brand that deserves to be represented in a collection. You know, the average price of a Grand Seiko used to be 2,500–3,000 euros. Now they're probably 5,500 euros on average. I very, very rarely buy a watch on impulse, and that was one of my only impulse, purchase, because when I saw it, when I saw the dial, and I loved I saw the action of the movement, because a spring drive is something unlike anything else, really. And I'm like, yeah, I really need to have this, and I just basically bought it on the spot, and that was that. But yeah, so
what's the reference again for the Grand Seiko?
SBGA 125, if I'm not mistaken. You know, that's the other thing that they need to change, is they actually need to give them name as opposed to.
Well, the fans do if the dial commands it.
Yeah, so Blizzard. So this one has a Blizzard dial.
The Blizzard dial.
So not Snowflake, but Blizzard.
But Blizzard from which region of Japan?
Oh, you
have to be very specific with
it's probably from the northwestern face of Mount Fuji.
But what's interesting in the collection here is that they're all from big famous brands, but they all have something a bit special.
I guess the one in there that, you know, which for me was not an obvious choice initially, is the Datejust, because again I've owned many Rolexes and the entire sports line in one variation or another before I bought this, and then realized, why the hell did I wait so long?
Let us know what you think about Johnny Guitar's collection in the comments. We'll speak to you in the next one. Thank you, Johnny. That was amazing. Bye bye.